Military caregivers are woven into the very fabric of the nation's appreciation of our military. Thank you so very much.
Thank you so much, Senator Dole, for your very eloquent and persuasive testimony. Mr. Phillippe.
Thank you, Senator Dole, for the kind words. Before I get started, I want to take a moment in light of this morning's tragic events and thank the Capitol Police, the Alexandria Police, and other first responders who were able to assist our members of Congress and their staff. I know I speak for all of us when I say that our thoughts and prayers are with them. I also know I speak for everyone here when I say to Senator Dole, we are truly inspired by your leadership, vision, and tireless work on behalf of military caregivers. You're a shining light on our country's hidden heroes so that we can all honor their service. And I want to thank each of you for the opportunity to be here today. It's truly an honor. My experience growing up in a military family helped prepare me for this role, for this moment. Both my grandfathers fought in World War II, one in the Pacific Theater, the other was a Bronze Star winner for fighting on the ground in Berlin. My dad was in the Navy during Vietnam. My uncles were both CBs and infantrymen during the same period of time. All the members of my family who served thankfully returned, but each and every one were affected in one way or another. I've had the opportunity as well to work with countless veterans and those currently enlisted on various film and television projects, and all of this adds to my deep respect for our vets and the understanding that they are our nation's true heroes. These days, I've been recently working with the Elizabeth Dole Foundation, and that's how I learned about a different kind of hero, our military caregivers. They are hidden heroes, family members or friends caring for warriors who return homes from service with physical and emotional scars. And today, we are here to ask for your help and urge you to take action. And if you know anything about Senator Dole, which you must, she doesn't take no for an answer. She will hold you accountable. She'll hold all of us accountable, because our nation's military and veteran caregivers deserve it. Over a lifetime of care, military caregivers face tremendous challenges, and right now they have very few resources to help them. It's on all of us to fix that. Right now, military caregivers are shouldering this responsibility of care alone. They don't expect or ask for help, but the work they do merits more than just a display of gratitude. We owe our military and veteran caregivers purposeful action and lifelong support. Something struck me in Senator Dole's remarks I want to emphasize. The Foundation's research found that military caregivers play an essential role in the recovery process of our veterans and improving their quality of life. And I quote, "The best chance for a wounded warrior to recover and thrive is having a strong, well-supported caregiver. Yet this role imposes a substantial physical, emotional, and financial toll on the caregivers and their families. We can do better. And that's why we're here. We need to sign into law some very important legislation. For starters, I'm speaking specifically about the recently reintroduced Military and Veteran Caregiver Services Improvement Act, bipartisan legislation introduced in both the House and Senate to make expanded resources available to military and veteran caregivers of all eras. This bill strengthens and expands vital programs that support caregivers nationwide and ensures that caregivers are recognized for their service in tangible ways. For example, if passed, pre-9/11 military caregivers would have the same support we give to our post-9/11 caregivers. I mean, Bob Dole served before 9/11. We're talking about caregivers for the heroes who served with him and the generations that followed. Their caregivers not only need but deserve our assistance. The VA's caregiver program should be available to all caregivers caring for all veterans, regardless of when they served. The bill also supports caregivers for veterans with service-related invisible injuries like TBI and PTS, in the same way we help caregivers for veterans who have visible wounds. It shouldn't matter whether we can see the scar or not to give our veterans and the caregivers the resources they need. It also provides assistance with child care, financial advice, legal counseling, and education, which are all top and currently unmet needs. Ultimately, by signing on to this bill, you will have a positive impact on the health and well-being of our nation's veterans and military families for a long time to come. As a Hidden Heroes ambassador, I've had the privilege to meet with military caregivers across the country. And as I speak before you now, I can't help but think about Megan and her husband, Matt, a Marine Corps veteran who honorably served 2 tours in Iraq. Megan and Matt are high school sweethearts, and when you meet them, you know it. They live in Connecticut now. They're a young couple. They're in love, yet they have a long road ahead of them. As a result of injuries received during his combat service, Matt now suffers from a traumatic brain injury and PTS. Megan, his wife and primary caregiver, is by his side every day, helping him as he struggles with wounds that we can't see, invisible wounds that most of us in this room can't imagine. Megan explained to me that she never pictured herself as a caregiver for her husband, especially so soon into her marriage. But Matt needs her. It's a day in, day out, 24/7 responsibility, managing doctor appointments, juggling medications, always on alert, looking out for things that might trigger Matt's PTS. And all, I might add, while raising 3 young boys. Megan is making the most of things, but she needs our help. In fact, there are 5.5 million military caregivers like Megan quietly serving in communities across America, and they can no longer go it alone. They need us, and they need you. I ask you again, members of the committee, and all of you here today, to give your full support to the military caregivers serving our nation. Senators, please sign on to the Military Caregiver Services Improvement Act.